I think I have to send you a reminder. Here it is.
Now, back to AB Sports Conversation with Anthony Carlo and Benzino the Hero.
Back to AB Sports Conversation, Anthony Carlo, Benzino the Hero. Last segment, we did have Rob Jiggity on the scene. And if you look where Rob Jiggity's sitting, that's not Rob Jiggity. We have the unknown guest. He is here. That's Franklin Osorio. What's up, Franklin? How's everything?
What's up, man? Glad to be here. How's it going?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Welcome to AB Conversation.
Thank you, thank you.
Franklin, we appreciate you coming in today from Florida.
Florida.
Now, you see, so many people sometimes are, you know, they fall on and off with whatever commitments they have to make. But we have this man in from Florida.
Florida.
Definitely.
Where you go to school in Florida, Franklin?
Full Sail, Orlando, Winter Park. It's about 20 minutes from Orlando in car. So
What do you
it's not
major
too
in?
far. Sports marketing and media.
Have you been on scene anywhere else in Florida? Have you been to, since Full Sail's not in New York, for people that don't know? How's it like?
How's it like? It's different, I'll tell you that. It's not your traditional school, you know. This is a huge campus. It's really beautiful over there, as well over here, but it's kind of different over there, you know. It's a lot of technology-wise, a lot of innovation stuff going on over there. It's different, but like any other school, you're there to learn.
Yes, and this is a sports show. So have you been doing any sports down there? Have you been covering anything?
Oh, definitely, definitely. Full Sail provides you with a lot of opportunities. This past, what was it, March, I got to work on the opening of the NCAA tournament.
He was on the scene.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So what do you plan on doing one day? What are your dreams?
Man, the dream job right now is to like be a GM for a team, you know, whatever has a ball, I'm down. But like when you first start off your program, you know, it opens your eyes to so many more opportunities. So
Exactly.
Because you did go to a NASCAR event.
I went to it never
Who
in my
would've
life
thought?
over
Yep.
here. Like growing up, you don't think about going to NASCAR event
Nah,
over
nah.
here. But I got offered
That's
the
like when-
opportunity.
That's when I flip ESPN. When NASCAR comes on, I
Yeah.
turn it off.
That's when you start using your Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
But nah, yeah, it was beautiful, different environment, so much passion for NASCAR. When
Wow.
those engines start roaring, it's crazy.
This
Beautiful.
man definitely knows
awesome.
his sports, and we're glad to have you here, Franklin.
Thank you, thank you.
Absolutely. I'm very privileged to have him on the show today, and
Thank
we're going to start off by talking some. We just talked about the Knicks. We talked about Mike Woodson. We talked about, obviously you heard about the firing.
Yeah.
We're gonna transition to the NBA playoffs, and we're gonna begin with. How about we begin with the games that were played yesterday?
Alrighty.
Okay, so yesterday the Pacers, in my opinion, came up with a big win.
They needed a
Now,
win.
exactly. You couldn't have said it better. The Pacers, to me, going into this postseason, we spoke about this in the preview. I didn't think, in the beginning of the season, I predicted them to be champions.
Mm-hmm.
NBA champions. Going into the postseason, nothing is solidified for me with them at this point. So picking up a win against the Hawks was huge. And to me, that now they can start to relax a little bit, because Paul George took control. You know, that's not always a great sign when you're relying on one player. But as Ben said, going down the stretch, things have been rough.
No, they've definitely been rough for them. I expected big things from them, which they provided throughout the first half of the season. It fell off, but it's the playoffs. Anything could happen. That win definitely helps. But it's also interesting. Now they're going to Atlanta. They haven't won there on a consistent basis. They've only won twice since '06, I believe.
Yep.
So it's going to be interesting.
The Pacers did lose the first game in the series, and that had ESPN in an uproar. Will the Pacers ever come back? Because they're just coming off a bad end of the regular season, and then they lose the first game against Atlanta at Indiana in their home backyard. You're supposed to win there, and then they get clanked by Atlanta. Jeff Teague making Evan Turner look like a fool.
You can say that again.
And
Now, can we all agree that the performance of Paul George yesterday was great? It was a great performance.
Yes.
He knocked down, he had he had 27 points, I think. Now, can you tell me, now obviously it's a needed win, it was a needed performance, can you tell me that's the answer, that they're safe now? I don't think so. I don't think just because Paul George came up big, they're safe.
I think that's their problem. They rely a little bit too much on Paul George. I
Yeah.
mean, they play a lot of team basketball, but offensively, it kind of reminds me of the Bulls. They struggle to put the ball on the net.
definitely, you said it right.
I mean, they've had, in the regular season, me and Ben have talked about it a lot, but, they've been complaining sometimes, especially Roy Hibbert, about how they don't pass the ball enough
Them
offensively.
dudes selfish.
Yeah.
Them dudes selfish.
That's
by
the-
Roy Hibbert.
That's the comment he made, that them dudes were selfish.
Yeah, it's-
And sometimes, and Paul George takes so many shots.
Oh, no,
If
definitely.
you look at his stats, the amount of shots he takes, I mean, he's their offense, in my opinion. And moving forward, to me, they're going to beat the Hawks. That's what I'm saying. They're going to beat the Hawks. But if we break this down, which I'd like to do if you don't mind,
Okay.
if we can break down our picks
Yeah.
for the rest of the postseason, and let me just check myself here, but I have the Brooklyn Nets beating the Pacers
To advance to the
To advance.
finals.
to advance to it would be the semifinals, not the championship.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but I'm going to ask you both right now. I'm going to give you your teams. You tell me who you're picking, okay? So if we have the Hawks and Pacers, Ben, I want to know you're picking that series.
I will continue to go with the number 1 seed Pacers.
Okay, you.
I agree with Ben. I mean, like a number 1 seed can't fall off that easily against a number 8 seed with the Hawks.
I agree with both of you. Let's go with the Nets and the Raptors.
That's intriguing. Can we talk a little bit about the series that's going on?
Oh, yeah,
Before we
go
make
ahead.
the pick?
Yeah, sure.
Because the Raptors did take the W last night.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar DeRozan stepped up. He had 17 in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn made a little bit of mistakes at the end. They looked a little bit old. And but before that game, Brooklyn won.
Brooklyn.
F Brooklyn.
That's what we had going on before that game. We had F Brooklyn going on.
I forgot the headline they put today.
It was Jurassic Park or
Yeah.
something like that.
Jurassic.
You're right. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
Jurassic.
I know they played around with the Raptors versus Dinosaurs whole
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
with Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett.
Yeah, they've been poking at that age of the Nets,
But a young team versus an old team. But that old team's experienced and the young team's not that experienced. But I'm gonna go with the young team.
Ben, from the middle of the season, I mean, I think he can attest to this. I was saying the Nets were a good basketball
Definitely.
team. I remember we'd be comparing the Knicks and the Nets, and obviously the Knicks aren't the greatest team to compare anybody to because we're gonna go with the other. But from the Nets, a lot of this season, once Jason Kidd got settled down, the team got settled under him. After a while, they transformed into a good basketball team, and I think they were behind only the Bulls in the most second half wins.
Correct.
So moving forward, I really think that they have a shot, and this was my WoW team. Remember when we were
Yes.
picking our WoW teams? He picked the Bulls. He thought they were going to make a run in the playoffs. I picked the Nets. I really think that they're going to not only come away with this win against the Raptors, but they're going to be able to go deep into this postseason. That's the way I feel.
I agree. I feel like the thing we have to recognize is Brooklyn Nets team wasn't made for the regular season in itself. It's 82 games. It's a long grinding season. These players are over 35-year-olds on average. It could be 30, depends. I feel like their experience is going to kick in this series. It's one of those youth versus old. It's a 7-game series in my eyes. I have them going and advancing though.
That's a great point, that the team
Very
was
good
built for the postseason,
Yeah.
built for experience. And I think they're lucky right now to have everybody healthy
Yeah.
that they attained, that they acquired. I mean, okay, so we all agree on that one. So how about the Wizards and the Bulls?
The Wizards and the Bulls. The Bulls are,
Now, that's your team, Ben.
yes.
That's your team in this postseason.
The Bulls are currently down 0-2 against the Wizards in the first round of the playoffs. Wizards winning both games. Nene is one of the big factors in both wins
Yeah.
for the Wizards. And just to say, Joakim Noah is the Defensive Player of the Year,
That's true.
and Nene's taking it to him right now.
He was
Yes.
giving it to him.
Young backcourt, John Wall, Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Both
Both very talented.
Very.
It's beautiful to watch.
John Wall led the league in assists this year. Oh, not averaging assists, but total.
Total.
So he can dish it out to players, Bradley Beal, Trevor Ariza, and off the bench, he has Andre Miller, Al Harrington, and big man Marcin Gortat holding it down too.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
a big pickup for them. I feel like he provides a lot of experience, and that just backcourt is beautiful to watch. They can run up and down itself by themselves between Beal and Wall, put the ball in the basket. Very athletic, beautiful.
So much talent, yeah.
Mhm.
So much
Young
athleticism.
talent.
Yeah, exactly. So how does this stack up against the Bulls? I mean, things are looking a little shaky early on for them.
Well, going into the postseason, we knew the Bulls did not have much of an offense. They rely on DJ Augustine
Yeah.
for the offense, but DJ Augustine has been doing his thing and he has providing numbers. But
He has been.
Chicago doesn't have Derrick Rose, and they traded Luol Deng halfway through the season at the trade deadline.
Right.
So knowing that, I thought players as Jimmy Butler, Mike Dunleavy, they would get it done.
Right.
But that hasn't been the case right now. So the Bulls, Tom Thibodeau, top 3 coaches, arguably the best coach in the league,
Correct.
has to go to Washington and see what's up. They have to get a win.
So who are you picking in the series?
I'm sticking with the Bulls.
Okay, I'm glad he's sticking with the team he expected to go far. How about you, Franklin?
Man, I'm a Gators fan. I love Bradley Beal's game, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I have to stick with Tom Thibodeau. I believe, like, on the road, your defense travels well most of the time.
So we all agree.
We all agree.
Great minds think alike.
Yes. It's the Tom Thibodeau voice.
I-
Raspy.
I think the same thing that Franklin mentioned before with the Pacers, how a team that played so well, and was such a high seed doesn't fall off that way. And the Bulls, who played so well in the second half, they're not going to they're not going to fall off against the Wizards.
Yes.
Okay, so next we have the Bobcats and the Heat. And so far in that series, the Heat are is it 1-1 in that
It's
series?
1-0.
1-0.
No, it's
The
1 up
Heat
with the Heat.
Bobcats will be playing tonight as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going with the Miami Heat just for the fact that, listen, Al Jefferson, God bless him, Kemba Walker, they're good, but to me, they rely a little. They have to rely a little too much on 1 or 2 players per game to carry them, and I think Miami is so deep and just has so much, so much talent just spread across the landscape. I just think that they're too strong for an upset here.
I agree. I feel like if the Bobcats had a game to win, it was game 1 because now Al Jefferson's hurt. I just don't see them going back to the
You got a
Carolinas.
bum
and
up
winning.
knee.
Exactly.
So I don't see them. They can put up points, but that fourth quarter comes around. The Miami have another whole other level.
Exactly.
The Bobcats did keep it interesting for 3 quarters, but how many quarters are in an NBA game?
4.
4. My point, the Heatles keep it going. On to the next show.
Yeah, the Heat definitely know what it takes to do, to be in the situation with their experience, and as Franklin said, when it comes to that fourth quarter. Next we have the Mavs and the Spurs.
The Mavs and the Spurs.
It's a very, very interesting series.
It is.
Because the Mavs got cold the last 6 minutes of regulation, and ultimately that's why they lost players like Monte Ellis, Dirk Nowitzki's prolific scorers in the NBA. Jump shooting scorers, Monte can get to the rack, Dirk can just shoot over you. And they couldn't get a field goal.
But going into the series, I didn't expect the Mavs to put up that much of a fight. I thought the Spurs, were locked in all season and they could just cruise through this, but they made it so interesting throughout those 4 quarters, and of course towards the end, the wheels fell off. But I feel like the Mavs could sneak a game maybe like tonight.
I agree with him. I think, remember when I was trying to explain to you about the Spurs, I was like, sometimes they're under the radar a little bit. It's because they're expected to do well and they're expected to win.
Yep.
Obviously, Greg Popovich getting the
Coach of the year,
Coach
Greg
of the year
Popovich.
today. So they know their role. They know that they had the league's best record this year. They know all that, but you got to be careful in situations where teams that are that good don't fall asleep when it comes to a shot where a team like the Wizards can try and I'm sorry, the Mavs can try and make some noise. But I'm still going with San Antonio. I don't think that I think they're too much of a well-oiled machine between Tim Duncan and Tony Parker to fall at this point in the season.
Parker went off the first half. Tim Duncan went off the second half. So 2 of your best 3 players are doing that. That's good. Even though I did pick the Mavericks as my wild team, I'm going to give them a game. I'm going to give them 2 games, actually, because I like how they played. If they made their shots, it would have been a different story. But unfortunately, it wasn't.
And you have to also agree that, this is the way it's been. But, Tony Parker, he leads the team in points per game. I think he averages maybe 16, something
16
like
and
that.
19.
They do a good job of playing well together as a team. There's not anybody, obviously there's no Carmelo scoring, 45. What did he score this year? Was it 62?
Yep.
62 points in a game, even though that wasn't his whole fault because he didn't have a team around him to spread the wealth with. But anyway, I think that they play too well together as a team.
Most definitely. Clippers Warriors. How's that series panning out? 1-1. Overtime game. The first game or second game?
First game.
First game was overtime.
Second game was
a debacle by the Warriors. The hot shooting Warriors.
it's a massacre.
A massacre. So how do you like that series heading?
Well, look, with the Clippers, I've been a fan of pretty much this whole season. I feel like even though they're up against it, this is not an easy team to beat. The Golden State Warriors that they're facing here in the first games they're playing in the postseason. But one thing is that I think it's the Clippers' time. I think it's that the team that they have between Blake Griffin, Chris Paul. I mean, I don't have to go through the whole roster of talent. I just think they're a very talented team, and I know that Golden State obviously is talented as well. Yes. There's no question about that. But I think that at this point, the simple answer for me is it's the Clippers' time. I think that when you balance it, sometimes Steph Curry is the man carrying that team, Golden State. And, I know that it's not often that he gets shut down, but I feel like with, between DeAndre Jordan and, the amount of talent that the Clippers have, it's easy to rely on a bunch of different options there on that team. And I think that's what makes them so dangerous.
The Clippers have more of a deeper bench, in my opinion, than the Warriors, but with the Warriors being known as a shooting team and you get slaughtered like that, that's so demoralizing. And it's 1-1, but it's going back to the Warriors, going back in the Oracle Arena. So I don't know what's going to happen. I do have the Clippers, though, in the series, but it will be an exciting series, no questions asked. What about you, Franklin?
As a fan, I've been disappointed of the series. The first game, Iguodala got 2 fouls in the first quarter, and it seemed like the refs watched too much of that Bad Boys documentary the night before.
Yeah, and Blake Griffin was in foul trouble as well.
Exactly. So, we expected the what do you call
Stars to play.
Yeah, the Stars to play. We expected a high-scoring game, and although I think we might have gotten that, but it just wasn't the same. Now, the second game, I was mightily disappointed with the Warriors. It wasn't the same. They didn't show up. Thing is, with the Clippers, I have to disagree with Anthony. I don't think they're going to make it to the finals. I just don't see them as a finals team right now. They have the pieces, but they're not cohesive yet. They're not there yet.
Hey, that's a fair point. I have them. I actually have them in the finals. I have them. I have them in the Heat. That's what I'm going with.
Like them and the Thunder, the difference, I look at them as similar teams because they're not there yet, but the Thunder have made it that far before in previous years. They've made it to the finals. Yep. So I feel like that's the difference.
That's a good point. Moving forward from that, we have the last game, I believe, right? The Thunders and the Grizzlies?
Thunders and Grizzlies. We have also one more matchup to cover.
Okay.
But for now, Thunders and Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, did they steal a win at OKC? I don't know.
Did they steal it or did they deserve it? That's the thing, because I feel like going into the series, the Grizzlies were overlooked. This is a half-court team. They can play very well. They can bang down low. They have the shooters outside with Conley and Mike Miller. So it's going to be interesting. I feel like people aren't giving them their fair respect. With that being said, I still have the Thunder winning the series.
Because of the way that Kevin Durant can shoot a three from falling out of
the
the
way you can't really guard 6'10", and you can dribble the ball outside from the three-point line. That's just unguardable at times. But
did you guys see that shot he made, though?
Whoa.
Can you imagine if he was doing that in horse?
Wow.
Like, how do you feel you lost?
Yeah. Bro, come on, give me the H and the ORSE.
Yeah. Do you guys think he has the potential to win the MVP this year? Over LeBron?
Definitely.
Locked.
You know how there's like rigging in soccer, right?
Yeah.
If Kevin Durant doesn't win this, I feel like
it's rigged.
It's rigged. Like
it's rigged.
Adam Silver already has his first scandal right there. He should just go in.
Oh man. Last but not least, Rockets. And the Trailblazers.
The Portland Trailblazers. Portland Trailblazers or the LaMarcus Aldridge, the LA show.
The LA show.
46-19.
19, man, and he got fouled out.
Yeah.
Yeeks. Overtime game, and Damian Lillard.
I feel
Damian Lillard, yeah.
That's what's being underestimated in this, overlooked, I should say. The backcourt for both teams is fairly well.
Yeah.
Fairly good. That James Harden and Lillard matchup, even though sometimes they don't match up together, they don't guard each other. This is beautiful for both of them to watch. James Harden could get to the free throw line at will. I saw a tweet the other day. It was like he could draw a foul on a statue if he wanted to. He gets to the free throw line at ease. Yeah. And Lillard, I mean, like, that boy has range. He could dribble. He seems so mature for his age, only his second year in the league.
Yep. $100 million man with Adidas now.
I know.
Yeah.
That's huge for him. So, and LaMarcus, I think the key is Dwight. If he could hit his free throws, we saw him. He was on a roll the other night for like 6 free throws towards the end of the game, but he doesn't provide enough.
But Dwight has to get a rebound.
That's the thing. Yeah. He's getting pushed around down low, and he shouldn't.
Robin Lopez, LaMarcus Aldridge, Miles Leonard don't play a lot, but Darrell Wright on that team coming off the bench, Mo Williams. It's an underrated bench for Portland.
Chandler Parsons, can't forget about him.
Chandler Parsons, huge fan. And look, the matchups is nice. LaMarcus Aldridge on Terrence Jones. LaMarcus Aldridge gonna win, but we have Chandler Parsons against Nicholas Batum.
That's nice.
Batum is very, very underrated. A pure
Yeah.
shooter than Nicholas Batum.
Very crafted.
And
crafty.
Wesley Matthews can't play defense on James Harden. And James Harden cannot play defense. 11-minute video of James Harden not playing defense. And the point guard matchup, I'm giving it to Damian Lillard, but Patrick Beverly is a tough player. He with the Russell Westbrook last year.
So Westbrook, we have to see now. He's kind of hurt now this series.
Yeah.
I also feel like another player that has to really be relevant for the Houston Rockets to win is Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy Lin, yeah,
He only had
absolutely.
14 points last game, and I feel like he has to be able to do more.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. But I mean, if I had, this might be one of the most evenly matched up. One of the most evenly put out there matchups so far
In the playoffs,
In
yep.
the playoffs, and that's why it's going to make it difficult to make a pick. But we got to make a pick.
Oh, man.
Franklin, make a pick for us.
I'm going with the Blazers, Trailblazers. You know, it's a little bit of a reach, but I just believe in the Lillard. Lillard can ball out. I'm a Harden lover, but he is not showing me on defense. I just believe the Trailblazers got this one.
I think Dwight Howard has to show up. He has to get rebounds. He has to get block shots. But I think he will show up. I think the team will show up. And I believe Terrence Jones will have a breakout game, the power forward for the Houston Rockets.
Right.
And I'm going with the Rockets.
I agree with Ben. I'm going with the Rockets.
Man,
So this should be fun on the next show to see who won this one.
Most
definitely.
definitely. Because playoff time will be around. It'll still be relevant. Still be high-paced. And our show will be high-paced. Next segment, we'll be talking about the MLB, a slow-paced game, but we're going to speed it up. AB Conversation, Franklin Osorio, Anthony Carlo, and Benzino the Hero.